Howdy, folks. My name is Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, my name is Ray, and my pronouns are he, him.
And I'm Jupiter, and my pronouns are she, they. And welcome back. Oh, it's time to log in to Deck of Friendship.
This episode was a real spine vibrator.
Oh, I hate that. You're correct.
My spine was vibrating at the speed of sound at this episode.
Damn. There were like 3 things I really liked in this episode and about 15 things I hated.
I like how it was an interesting contrast to pair, like interesting philosophical questions about the world with just absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Some might call it an endurance test.
Yeah, there was like some really, interesting ideas raised about the like nature of existence in this scenario and like what it really means to be a player character versus an NPC. But that was about 20% of the episode.
When it should have been all of it.
The remaining 80% of the episode was
Natsuko saying gross things about children.
Natsuko saying incredibly disgusting things about actual children.
Yeah, okay, so
go.
if you wanna not hear about this, just like skip forward like 5 minutes. We won't dwell on it too much, but
we want to get it out of the way.
Yeah, we do have to like at least mention it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it sucked.
It got worse and worse.
Yeah, no, Natsuko, like, Sarah is the little kid that they just saved, and Natsuko immediately started saying weird things about her.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was, also, they have, like, I don't know. No one knows how old Sarah is, and she also has weird, gross internal monologues about Nyanta. It's clearly the writers just think this is normal.
Yeah.
And then later on, Shiro is talking about 2 definite children who he knows and who he helped teach when they were getting into the game for the first time. And Natsuko, he asks if one of the children is hot. And he says worse than that, but I do not feel comfortable saying any of it.
Yep.
Yeah, so Natsuko's dead.
Natsuko's dead.
He's no longer a character to us.
We vaporized him.
I mean, he barely adds anything to these episodes anyway. We could genuinely...
He's getting the Bandit Keith treatment.
Right, we can go through the rest of this series almost certainly without acknowledging Natsuko ever again.
I think we can do that.
I think we can do that.
I think we can do that. There might be like some moments where we might want to talk about him, but hey, for the rest of it, we don't have to, and he's dead.
We can find a way around it. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'll all be context relevant at some point, but we're going to try our best to never talk about him again. Although I would like to say every time he said something gross, Akatsuki did throw, like, knives at him and stuff, so, like, hopefully at some point...
She doesn't miss.
Yeah, she'll, like, misjudge her aim a little bit and just, like, completely destroy Natsuko so much that he wakes up in church and stays there forever.
Here's what they need to do. They need to assassinate Natsuko in his sleep, send him to church. Then, while he's at church, the members of the guild grab him and put him in a hole.
A church hole.
Yeah.
So he's just in church the whole time.
Yeah, he can't leave.
He's in the church hole.
Yeah, he's in the...
Yeah. He can't do anything.
And occasionally they just fill it with water.
Just here and there.
It's like those mobile game ads.
Oh
it's like he's in a hole and it's like filling with water and it's like, what would you do? 90% of players can't get this right.
You have a hammer and a manhole hook cover. What do you do?
I'm gonna throw the hammer in the hole.
I'm gonna dig deeper with my mantle.
Joy, I regret to inform you that the hammer does drown.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like the Titanic.
Ray, I regret to inform you that you end up burying the water alive. thus making you a murderer.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, I killed the water.
So Shiro and Akatsuki and Sarara and Nyanta and no one else ride away from the city from last time that I can't remember the name of.
Susukino.
And they're just in the forest. And this episode is mostly just like, this episode is more about food than anything else.
Yeah, and by cutting out all of the gross talk, we have reduced the content of the episode to about 5 minutes.
We can do it, though, because there's a lot of cool stuff, actually.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's bad.
It's bad. It's just bad. They're just sitting around a campfire, and then we're trapped.
We're trapped at the camp with them.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, is that I want to talk about one of the few good points of this episode, which is that, they have all this food, it tastes terrible and stuff. It's standard fare at this point. Nobody is enjoying anything they're eating. But then in the distance, they smell a good food.
Yeah.
They smell a good food off in the woods. And it turns out that Nyanta has, an expert cooking skill and also just doesn't use the game menus to make food. He just does it the old-fashioned way. And because of that, all of his food actually tastes like food.
Wow.
Yeah. I love this.
Yes.
And there's this extremely well-animated scene of all of them eating real food for the first time in what I can only assume has been a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And from the air, a voice calls the meat's delicious juices as it jams down. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
I will say about this scene is that it does maybe not fully contradict the last episode, or maybe that was episode 3, but at some point they are talking about the food situation, and they say even somebody with a chef subclass can't make it taste good. But I guess that maybe no one had tried making it by hand with the chef subclass.
Yeah.
Probably everyone was just using game menus.
If they were using the chef subclass, but they were still using menus, then it would suck.
Apparently.
The two requirements are, 1, you can't use the menus, and 2, you have to have the chef subclass. So there's very, very few people that can make real food at this point. And then also that, I guess, would just rely on your real life cooking skills to make something that tasted good.
Yeah.
Although, from my understanding, it would probably be easier than real life, because they have this whole conversation as they're setting up a campsite. Shiro's just like, oh yeah, I was never an outdoorsy person in real life. I once read a book about camping.
I relate so hard to him.
But it's probably so much easier for me to set up this campsite in the game than it would be in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In real life, you just buy a tent.
Yeah.
From the Bass Pro Shop.
I want to point out a thing that happened maybe not last episode, but at some point during a Nyanta scene.
Okay.
They hinted at the food thing because he poured water and also peeled an apple.
Peeled an apple?
And put the apple bits with the water and made an apple tea thing. And I'm like, oh, you probably don't notice that the first 3 times, but I've watched this show 4 times. So...
That's a lot of time.
That is cool. For a second, or maybe longer than a second, because I'm for some reason still grappling with it. But for some reason, the concept of peeling an apple feels very wrong to me, even though I know it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's something that I don't genuinely very often do with my apples.
Yeah, I don't peel them.
Well, okay, can I be real? When Ray said peel an apple, I was imagining the hand motion of peeling a banana.
I wish.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I don't think that can happen, Ray.
Hey, how do you peel your apple?
From the top or from the bottom?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
God.
Anyway, that's just a fun little tidbit for you about Nyanta and making food before it was properly introduced to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I like it.
Anyway, it's cool. Nyanta's cool. He can cook. That's awesome.
can cook.
Nyanta's still cool.
Yeah.
Nyanta's very
Yay.
cool.
Now, I don't know how aware and involved he is with everything that Sarara says and thinks about him.
I'm electing not to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I'm at with the show.
It's sort of where we have to be with this show, is unless it's put in front of our face, we just are kind of trying to ignore it.
Yeah, we could just assume the best.
Yeah, we're just assuming the best.
Nyanta's just being cool. It's just being cool.
Apparently, Nyanta, and this is an amazing detail. Apparently, Nyanta used to be in a guild of all
Yeah.
cats that lived in one big house where they would roleplay as cats, and just yes, I just want to say yes.
I think this is just what Soraro is imagining, but like, because I think he was speaking in metaphor for most of this.
Mm-hmm. But I hope that's what actually happened also.
But Sorara has this, like, while Nyanta is talking about this, she has this, like, she imagines what it looks like, and it's just a bunch of human proportion cat people
Doing cat things.
laying around fully clothed in like business attire, all like around a house doing cat things. There's one pawing at the side of a door.
We've all had daydreams like that.
It's great. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. If it's not true, it should be.
It should be.
It should be.
It should be.
Absolutely should be. I hope that's what would I hope that's what happened.
What else happens? They have a discussion about the debauchery tea party,
Yes.
Yeah.
and Akatsuki is unwilling to accept that one character that doesn't exist anymore was actually in it, and I accept that.
We respect that, yeah.
Well, he wasn't in it. Who are you talking about? There's no character like that.
Right, exactly.
More importantly, Akatsuki, throughout this and the last few episodes, has been like, I'm not as good as Shiro. I suck at this. And that's just her whole thing. And we're like, that's not true.
You're an assassin. You get to kill stuff sometimes. It's cool.
Nyanta even says, you did pretty great out there, actually.
What would they do without their DPS?
Exactly.
What would they do without their sneak PS?
Those mages would have did some fireballs, and they would be in church right now if she didn't sneak up and cut them in half.
Yeah.
That is the implication, right? Like, the one character who doesn't exist is a tank. Shiro is the support, and so that would mean Akatsuki is the DPS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now they have another support and another DPS.
Well, here's the thing about Akatsuki is that, like, I will note, like, you know, Nyanta has pointed out how great she is in Battlefield, how helpful she is. But Shiro really hasn't all that much. Like,
Yeah.
he's mostly, like, in his own head for the most part. And so, like, you know, people are always saying these, like, incredible things about Shiro, and he doesn't, like, he barely acknowledges that, and also doesn't seem to, like, acknowledge the accomplishments of his teammates very often either.
Yes, even though he recognizes it, he doesn't verbalize it that often.
Yeah.
Compared to others.
Right, I don't necessarily think that he doesn't recognize it.
Yeah, no, he's just not that vocal about
Yeah,
it.
he doesn't
Yeah.
say it. You know what? Here's my thing, okay? Is that this show is constantly just like, Shiro is the best player in this game. No one is better than Shiro. Everyone is constantly talking about Shiro and how cool Shiro is. And I just want to knock Shiro down a peg, even a little bit.
I want to knock him down a peg in terms of, like, his status as, like, the best sorcerer in the entire universe or whatever. But, like, he also is, like, one of the only half-decent characters we've got here.
True. Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna give him some good boy points for that, for not being weird.
Yeah.
Good job, Shiro.
Good job, Shiro, for just not being weird.
Yeah, he's never been weird. I don't remember him ever
And
being
he
weird.
always calls out a certain tank weird whenever he's weird.
Mm-hmm. Although him being complicit and letting it happen still, and still continuing to associate with him.
That is true. That is true.
Still a problem. You can knock Shiro down a peg for his lack of social skills and understanding of relationships.
Yeah, that is like an actual established plot point. We have to teach Shiro that now the person who doesn't exist shouldn't exist.
If the show was any good, I'm kidding. It is. I do enjoy the show.
You can hate the show.
I don't hate the show is the thing. I genuinely.
But if you wanted to, you could.
No, but I think it would have been like really interesting if like early on in the show, like Shiro meets up with. I'm just gonna for a second. We'll pretend he exists again.
Okay.
Shiro like inviting Natsuko into this party and whatever. It would have been interesting if early on Shiro was just like, actually, no, people don't feel safe around you. You need to leave. And gets kicked out of the party, and then...
Well, that's what would happen in real life.
That's what would happen in real life. And then, like, it could turn into the story of Natsuko, like, being the villain, essentially, right? Because, like, his behavior and the villain's behavior is not that different in this show.
That's really, I'm going to be like 100% honest. That's a really good story idea. Like,
yeah.
Like full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Too bad the world is cowards.
Yeah. Anyway, back to acknowledging his non-existence. Yeah. Okay. So it's hard to know where we are in this episode because we have to go like cut out huge swaths of it.
They go to the big barn. They meet an NPC.
Yeah.
They meet Grandpa.
There's this in the cold open. It is just a straight up monologue of Shiro talking about NPCs, doing some NPC shop talk. And we actually do get this like cute little montage of different fake games. The first one like looks like a Final Fantasy VII type, like with the chunky graphics and, you know, the big arms. And then like it shows a different game that is more like, I don't know, PS2, PS3 RPG.
Yeah.
Then it shows Elder Tale. And I do like the, like, I don't know, you could, like, presume that these are earlier Elder Tale games or something like that.
Ooh, I like that. I like that theory.
Yeah. It's like, you know, in the same way that, like, Final Fantasy was mostly single player and then has, like, had an MMO and now has a new one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's cool to imagine that, like, this company made other games.
Elder Story, Elder Book, Elder Fable.
Elder Scrungus.
Yeah.
All of the Elder Story type.
Elderly.
Elderly.
LY stands for something. We're not gonna tell you.
Yeah. Elder is in the usual Elder Tale font, and then Lee is in, like, fancy bravely defaults like
it's actually pronounced elder.ly, but everyone just shortens it to elderly.
Oh my goodness.
It's yeah, the Lee is you know, it's like bright green, you know, big you know thing. The like
there's a bird on there somewhere.
There's a bird on there somewhere. Like, you know, when you hit square on the title screen or whatever, the camera
it chirps and flies away.
The bird flies away, and then the camera flies into the Lee.
Oh my god.
And you're like, what does this mean?
That's incredible.
Is this the JRPG about, like, old people?
No, it's not. It's just another Elder Tale game.
What? Well, why not? Why isn't this one also...
Because that's too on the nose.
Can you make an elderly character?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you can make an elderly character. Yes.
Good.
What they don't tell you, now this is the secret to the LY, is that they get stat buffs, but no one knows.
Not even the people who have them. It's like in Monster Hunter where there's like a secret luck stat that you don't know about unless you like play the game a while and just like try to note it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So yes, there is a focus on the elderly, but no one knows.
Yeah, if you make a really old character, there is an age slider. It does curiously go from, it goes from 50 to 900. And, but if you max out the elderly slider, in character creation, when you get to the final boss, which is a hip young skateboarder.
Scony talk.
I'm sorry. Say that again?
I said Scony talk, the final boss.
Scony talk.
Scony talk.
He sure does.
He sure does do the talk.
That sounds like a Sesame Street sketch of a scone puppet.
Scony talk.
See, I would assume that that's like some kind of TED talk that Tony Hawk would do, but just like at a cafe.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Scony Talk. Today I'm going to be kickflipping off of the cash register.
While eating some shortbread.
I'll give you my review while I'm in the air.
Only when I'm airborne. That's the only time I can talk. Can I just say I wanna have a moment of pure unadulterated honesty. I've been thinking about scones a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah, I want a scone. It's been such a long time since I've had a scone, and I've just been thinking about scones lately. How do you make a scone?
Carefully.
Scones are I haven't. It's been a while since I've made a scone, but I recall them being fairly easy.
Okay, that's good.
Because, part of the thing about scones is that, they don't have a hugely defined shape, so you can kind of mess around a little bit. But I will not say with expertise because I haven't made one in a while.
Fair.
But scones are good. Scones are fully good.
Now I want to make scones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look up how to make scones now.
You should.
You're gonna need heavy cream or buttermilk. And I don't know if I have either of those right now, actually.
I bet you could get them from your local grocer's market.
I bet you could.
Thanks, local grocers market, for supporting us in our scone venture.
Our scone venture.
Hey, I have there's a little Steve Buscemi cameo in this episode because there's a big spider crawling on my wall.
Uh-oh. Also, ew.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And here's the thing, is that I'm not saying ew about the spider, I'm literally saying ew about the Steve Buscemi thing.
If you hit that with a master sword, you'll get a Bishamilchula. I can't.
What?
I can't.
You get a what? What do you get?
What do you
right?
get?
You got Steve Buscemi's skull.
Okay.
Oh.
What was the word that you said before?
Why are we trying to address this?
Was it like Skulltula?
It's on the audio. People can go back and try to hear me say.
Yeah, but I can't. I'm in the moment. I'm here right now.
Bisham Sculptula.
Bisham Sculptula?
Bisham Skulltula.
Bishamchula.
Bisham Skulltula. Oh my goodness.
Why does that sound like a Xenoblade character?
This is my sword, Bishamchula.
Oh my god.
Goodness. What is even happening? Speaking of scones, they make cookies for Grandpa and his grandchildren.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
The kids are super into Akatsuki being a ninja, which is super adorable.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, can we see your swords? Can you throw some darts? And then the boy says, will you kick my sister? It's like, what?
Oh my god.
My dude? No.
Oh my god. It was absolutely wild. Now, before this, there is a small conversation with Shiro about a couple kids, and I think that's when we learn about Toya and Minori, two kids that he basically teachered and mentored.
Yeah.
In the game during their first few days.
Yeah, I did forget about this whole thing because it was during the scene that we all deflated like balloons.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is important, so we should talk about it.
Yeah, so Tuya and Minori are two children. They are like level 8 when everyone else is level 90.
They just started the game.
They just started like a couple of weeks ago, and now they're trapped in a video game where if you die in the game, you go to church.
Right.
You go to church.
And Shiro has this whole like monologue about How many of these like summary sections start with Shiro's having this monologue?
Every single bit.
Yeah. He's a monologuing boy.
Yeah.
Monologue Horizon.
Monologue Horizon.
Monologue Horizon. Do you think he's just like in his own head all the time because he doesn't want to listen to what his gamer friends are saying?
Yeah, he tried to turn off voice chat, but now he can't because it's real life.
So he's just thinking all the time to distract himself.
He's just in a constant state of voice chat dissociation.
Yeah. Oh my god, I wish that were me.
Jupiter,
What?
Jupiter,
What?
Jupiter, our podcast. Oh my god.
We're not gaming. We're not currently gaming.
But we are gamers.
But we're gamers.
That's
Like,
true.
come
We
on.
don't die, we respawn.
At church.
At church.
I just get so overloaded in big group chats.
Me too.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, Shiro's monologue, and Shiro's thinking to himself about these two kids, and he starts to talk about them and explain that he used to, like, right when they started out, they walked up to him and were like, "Hey, you look strong. Will you help us out?" And he was endeared to them. He doesn't normally like people asking him questions like that, but he was endeared to them because they were just starting out, and they're kids. They're just some kids having fun. And so they start talking about the teacher system,
Mm-hmm.
which is a system where higher level players can lower their level and lower their stats to do quests with lower level players so that they can like teach them the ropes and get them started.
Just like Final Fantasy XIV.
Just like Team Fortress 2.
Just like Gary's mod.
Just like teachers.
Just like teachers.
Do you know how teachers have to lower their power level in order to teach
Yes.
children in real life?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not untrue.
Yeah.
Remember Mario Kart Double Dash? Anyway, they
Yeah, it's still super good.
It's very good. Why didn't they ever bring back the 2-person 1-car system?
Because apparently Nintendo can only have one ingenuity idea per game.
They
then-
can have one good idea at a time.
And then once that's done with, they can't have it again. So they're gonna do like quadruple dash or something and have 4 people.
Quadruple dash. I can't wait.
Okay.
Sounds like Jupiter is just as excited for quadruple dash.
Yes.
A Mario Kart Battle Royale, but hold on.
Mhm,
But hold
mhm,
on.
Uh-huh.
mhm.
It's not 99 players in separate cars. It's 99
Uh-huh.
players in one car.
And you just have to try to stay in the car, and that's how you win.
If you get hit with a shell or something, if you're the one in charge of driving, then you get knocked out of the car.
Fund it. 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 Fund it.
Why play Mario Kart Live Tour when we can play?
Mario
Come on,
Kart
help me think of a
Mario
pun.
Kart Jenga edition.
How about this? Reggie's most dangerous game, Kart.
Joy. Reggie's most dangerous game card.
Bringing it back.
All the way back.
All the way back to the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I have come up with too many good ideas for Battle Royale games.
Yeah, I know, right? Like the food one?
The food one? What was the food one?
You remember the food one we made?
What was the food? I remember Splattle Royale.
Oh, I love Splattle Royale.
Splatter Royale needs to actually be a thing,
Nintendo,
though.
pay me for Splattle Royale.
What was the food one?
The one that had like McDonald's, the
Oh,
Burger King.
right, where each food mascot had different unique powers. Yeah, 100%.
Yes. Mm-hmm. This is unlistenable now. Let's go back.
I do feel like I need to explain Splatter Royale now that I've acknowledged it on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, no, please explain Splattle Royale.
Maybe this is the way that Splatter Royale gets funded.
We can only hope.
Splatter Royale would be a Splatoon Battle Royale spin-off that would be sort of like Salmon Run, but there are like 40, 50 Inklings and Octolings on the map, going around to these different objectives and defending them from the Salmonids. And if you get splatted, you respawn as a boss Salmonid and try and splat the other Inklings and Octolings.
It's the perfect plan.
It's so good. That means you're just playing the whole time.
Yeah, and I just like, I want it so desperately. Nintendo, where are you?
Nintendo, you have to.
I just want the money to the name, please.
That's it.
That was my contribution, and I'm so proud of it. I want the money, Nintendo.
Yeah, give Ray
Nintendo,
the
can
money.
you loan me like $800,
Yeah,
please?
yeah, Nintendo, you can afford it. Could you lend me could you give me
Can you give?
Doug Bowser, I made a good title for you. Could you just route me a few $1,000s?
Yeah, you can totally afford it.
No one's even gonna bat an eye.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Just skim a little off the top for your friends over at Deck of Friendship, Doug Bowser.
Come on.
Dougie, come
for
on.
your deck of friendship pals.
Remember all those things we did for you, Doug Bowser? Remember how we got you to the top?
We got you to the top. You remember us, don't ya? Do we need to jog your memory? Because I actually recorded a lot of it in my scrapbook.
Yeah, Joy's scrapbook is very comprehensive.
We're still talking about the scrapbook, but it still sounds like a threat.
Yeah, no, it is.
This
is a very comprehensive scrapbook we got here, and I used 2 glue sticks.
Oh, you don't want to mess with her. She used 2 glue sticks.
Doug, you don't want this. You want to make this nice and easy.
Douglas Bowser.
Everything you see before you was bought at the craft store down the street. The highest quality construction paper was involved in its making. You don't want to mess with me.
I'm in deep with Michael of Michaels.
you know Michael of Michaels. It's the Michael.
I owe him a lot of sequins, if you know what I'm saying.
Listen, Doug, you don't want to get mixed up in this. Just route us the money. It's fine.
You don't want to mess with Michael, Doug Bowser. What would happen if he got word about this little situation, Doug Bowser?
You don't want to get bedazzled, would you?
Would you?
I like the idea that, he's just, part of this conversation, but staying absolutely silent. Just, listening to this and just,
Come on, Doug.
No, he has nothing to say.
Doug, I'm waiting for your response, Doug.
You don't have to say anything, just route the money, Doug.
Old Dougie Bows.
Old Dougie Bows.
What you got in that briefcase, Dougie Bows? It better be the cash.
Or is it your scrapbook?
Or is it your own scrapbook? Oh, no.
It's not as good as Joy's scrapbook, because she got her materials, as we said, at Michael.
This is a sponsored message from Deck of Friendship. No, it's not.
No. Let's move on. Let's stop threatening Doug Bowser with Michael sequins and move on.
In Joy's scrapbook, she has a picture of her with Donald Duck.
That's right. I took it at Disney World. This was pre-quarantine, I swear.
Yes, this was pre-quarantine.
As you can tell, nobody in the shot is wearing a mask, although that doesn't necessarily mean it's from pre-quarantine, does it? Oh no, oh yikes.
You wouldn't want to go to Disney World post-quarantine, would you, Doug Bowser?
Would you, Doug Bowser?
Are you threatening to send Doug Bowser to Disney if he doesn't route us money? Is that what we're doing right now?
Hey, I didn't say nothing. It's all alleged.
No, that was never explicitly stated.
No, I'm doing this for the audience's sake.
I was just asking if you would like to.
Yeah, just a little suggestion for a nice trip, if you know what I mean. Haha, wink wonk.
A little long trip off of a short Disney World, if you know what I'm saying.
Haha, wink wonk.
Anyway,
they're in a bar.
So that was a bit.
That was certainly a bit.
There was a bit that turned into a bit that turned into a bit. So yeah, Toya and Minori are cool little children that are learning how to play the game, and Shiro decided to help them. These little grandchildren remind Shiro of them.
Yeah, Shiro does say that the last time that he saw them, they joined a guild.
Yes.
A really good guild that respects them as people.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
He's like, I haven't seen them in ages, but they were level 8 when I used to know them, and then they joined a guild, so they're definitely much higher now. And later in the episode, we find out, no.
Talk about it right now because we're there.
We're not there. We're not there, though. We're not there.
We're not at Disney yet, Doug Bowser. Quit looking out the window.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to go to Disney World.
Wow, Doug, this is the first time you're speaking. I didn't know this is what you sounded like.
Well, this is just about Disney. I want to go to Disney. I want to go kiss the mouse.
May I? Well, okay,
May I question your motives, please?
I was about to recommend the Disneyland Adventures for Xbox, but...
I forgot about that.
Wait, is that a thing?
But I don't think you can kiss the mouse in Disneyland Adventures.
Is there a Disneyland Adventures for the Xbox?
There's a Disneyland Adventures for the Xbox, and you wouldn't want to...
Which Xbox?
I don't know. I think it's on Game Pass.
That's hilarious. But you wouldn't want to wake up there.
You wouldn't want to play Xbox, would you, Doug Bowser?
No, I want to go to Disney.
That's right.
That's right.
We all want to go to Disney.
Yeah.
I want to ride in a teacup.
We all want to ride in a teacup, Dougie Bows.
No, you don't. You're just saying that to threaten me, and it's not working.
Why would I threaten you, Dougie Bows?
I don't know.
Just transfer me the cash. Where are we going? What are we doing?
I don't know. Disneyland, supposedly.
Supposedly Disneyland.
Yeah, I thought there was something else in the... Oh, right. Yeah,
it's the people. It's a talk about the people.
They're having... In the farmhouse, which they go into because it starts raining, they're, like, talking to this NPC, and it's this, like, old man. He has a name. His name is Fedor.
Fedora.
He's the ombudsman, which is a word that I'm Googling.
Yeah.
An official appointed to investigate individuals' complaints against maladministration, especially that of public authorities.
Ooh, I like this guy.
He's HR for cities.
He keeps the fantasy cops in check.
Maladministration is... I thought it was like a more fancy word than this, but it's just malicious and administration jammed together.
Yeah, just smashed, just Frankensteined together.
Inefficient or dishonest administration.
It sure is.
This dude is reigning in the authority. Hell yeah, okay. So yeah, Fedor invites them into the barn where they can sleep. Akatsuki fights with a ghost over some straw, and the children come in, Mishka and Ivan. Now, we did briefly say that they made them cookies. We did not say that they had never heard of cookies before this moment.
That's right. They had no idea cookies even existed or were a thing even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not even sure what that implies for the world, necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it implies that there's not a lot of variety.
Yeah, they all eat tasteless garbage.
Well,
supposedly the NPCs eat real food.
Maybe? I mean, do we know that the NPCs are definitively doing anything? I mean, like, it's weird because the NPCs, they're also called the people of the earth in the way that, like, a video game would call a group of NPCs something that the players would totally ignore.
Yeah, because NPC is just quicker and easier.
Mm-hmm.
But the NPCs, like, are supposed to have these scripted bits of dialogue and just be like quest givers or whatever. Most of them wouldn't have names. But these NPCs have names, have backstories. Fedor starts talking about how when his daughter was giving birth to his grandchildren, the husband was out of town for whatever reason, and he had to drag his daughter's body across the mountain to get to a doctor during a blizzard.
That's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. The story gets cut off, but they have this like conversation about how the NPCs, like, Cher has this thing about how the NPCs, like, aren't just NPCs, they are real humans, essentially.
Yeah, they certainly act sentient, especially like we haven't seen much of NPCs except for this family. Like we've seen other NPCs but never like had like extended conversations with them, but these are basically just folks.
They're just people.
Yeah, in this like farmland town that in a MMO for sure you would just breeze past. Would most of the time there wouldn't be adventurers going through it because like it's just a place, you know, where you go like on your way to another quest or whatever. And they have this like little conversation about like not knowing if these NPCs were always this fleshed out or if there were always this many of them, because when they were just treating it as a game, they ignored all of this stuff. And the like NPCs are the ones who are actually living in this world and working and doing stuff.
Also, was it said in a previous episode that they don't wake up in church if they die, they just stay dead?
It hasn't been stated, but I think it's implied.
Yeah, because it's like, because Shiro during this episode says, we're kind of the freaks in this world because when we die, we just wake up at church. So that kind of implies in a way that like, NPCs are finite and fragile, apparently.
Well, I mean, hell, in the city that I can never remember the name of.
Siskino.
In Siskino, like, the guild there killed every NPC.
Yeah, ooh.
So...
And now we know they're sentient, which makes that so much worse. Mm-hmm. And also that they might not respawn, which makes it worse still.
Yeah. That guild either doesn't know and certainly doesn't care that they are for real actual murderers.
Yeah, they're not great.
Yeah. Wowzers. Speaking of things that are a little rough.
Wowzers, it's Doug Bowser's.
Doug Bowser, you've come again.
I just want to go to Disney.
Welcome, Doug Bowser.
How was your Disney trip, Doug Bowser?
It was fine. The teacups were down.
I imagine a lot of attractions were down.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is just something I've heard, and also this is, I guess, I mean, it's related, but it's not, like, relevant to the episode, but I still want to say it. Apparently, at Disney right now, they, like, keep the princesses in hypoallergenic bubbles.
What?
They're like in bubbles so that they don't get sick.
Why?
So like when kids can go and see the princesses, but the princesses can't interact with anyone physically, and they should not be. It should not be open.
Disney shouldn't be open.
It just shouldn't be open, okay? Just stop. Just everybody needs to stop. I have been quarantined since February. I'm losing my mind. I just want to go outside again, and everyone else is just out there going to Disney, going on fun road trips and stuff, just like nothing's happening.
What the hell, Doug Bowser?
Doug Bowser, this is all your fault.
Look at
the state of the world.
Look at the state of the world, Doug Bowser. What could you have done?
Now he decides to stay silent. It speaks volumes, Doug Bowser. Volumes.
You were talking about all your excitement for going to Disney, but like you're rich, you know, you can just like buy out the park and go for yourself, right? Like
you can get a giant hamster wheel that keeps you away from the germs and roll it around Disney.
Doug. Okay, but I was just imagining Doug Bowser in a hamster wheel. That's pretty good. So there is a sort of, I don't know, I guess like off screen, the gang makes it back to Akihabara. They don't really show it or acknowledge it, but oh well.
Yeah, they just are. They're just back.
Yeah. There's this extra like scene at the end of the episode where we in fact do meet up. At least we, the audience, meet up with Toya and Minori. I got there. I scrolled up.
Yes.
Toya and Minori are sort of in a bad way.
Yeah, it turns out that guild was a bad one.
Uh-oh,
you joined a bad guild.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's also rice.
They're forcing the children to do fighting to get items and not letting them rest, and also making some of them just sew.
Yeah.
Also taking things from them, but giving them minimum food and necessities.
Yeah, they have to earn every meal, and they go out on these missions, and because they're also low level, most of them die.
Oh, also, verbally abusing children.
Yeah.
Yeah, oof.
Yeah, all of the villains in this show they do not hold back on how bad they are.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not a good guild. Toya and Minori are in a bad spot because the guild is taking advantage of them and other children.
Yeah. And they're like,
and exploiting them for work, essentially.
yeah, and like they're plotting in the like cafeteria of the guild hall of like how they're gonna break out, and thinking on like, if Shiro was here, what would he do? And then they're on their way out into the wilderness again, and Toya hears Shiro talking to some folks because he's just returned from Akihabara, or to Akihabara, and he almost goes to approach, but then walks away sadly instead. And then Shiro sees the like back of his head, and then sort of just stares sadly. And then the episode ends.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope that kid knows Shiro would have helped. If he knew, he would have.
He would have helped.
Yeah, it's like they're setting up for something.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe this will never be acknowledged again.
No, probably not. Anime's like that sometimes.
It's messed up.
Remember the GS ball in Pokemon? I do.
Oh yeah, the GS ball.
It'd be like the GS ball if it was instead, hey, remember that time that there was a group that had imprisoned children? Anyway, so Squirtle is here.
Let's talk about something else.
This episode was the worst one we've seen so far.
Yeah, this one was rough. If only for two reasons, and we've already talked about them.
I went into this episode being like, oh, it's sort of like a low stakes chatting world building episode. That seems like a good idea. That's fun.
Yeah.
And then all that happened.
Yeah. That could have been the episode we got. We could have gotten a fun little world building episode and learning about the environment and
Instead, we got 35 seconds of world building and 99%. Oh no, stop. No. Log Horizon, you don't understand. I have to talk about this for an hour and a half later. Stop, please.
Yeah, I think that's the episode on this one. I just
yeah, that's it.
I can't imagine any further crevices of this episode that we could mine for things to talk about.
We've gone for about an hour. We're good.
Well, heck, that was sure episode of Deck of French.
Make sure to do the Twitter stuff and yada yada.
For some reason, I'm having a hard time ending this episode because I'm just like, I want to end on a nugget of good, and I'm really searching for it.
The nugget of good is that we're all friends and life is good, even when the episode of anime isn't.
Yeah. Hey, before we end it off tonight, I want to talk again about my dream. About my dream. Hey, I have recently been really struggling at work. I work 30 hours at a grocery store on top of the 3 podcasts that I'm a part of, the 3 to maybe sometimes 4 times a week that I stream, the administrative stuff that I do with the new network, and I have been podcasting and making stuff on the internet in this form for over 2 years now, and I really enjoy making the stuff that I make, and I plan to no matter what keep making stuff because I just really love doing what I do, and it is honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of my life is making all this stuff. And that said, I really I really want and really need to be able to quit my job. It is really straining on me in a major way, and especially as an autistic person, it is a real big struggle for me. I'm very noise and touch sensitive. But yeah, it would be really amazing. It would really, really help me out if you listening were able to help and support me in any way. There are a couple of ways that you can do that. For one, if you just want to like donate money to me directly, you can absolutely do that if you would be so kind at my Ko-fi link, which is coffee.com/HellPrincessJupiter. Additionally, the best way to support me is to check out my Twitch channel. I stream, again, around 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Streaming a lot of single player games. I'm a very chill streamer. And, you know, I like to make goofs, like to make jokes. But I also just, you know, enjoy being like a chill, relaxing force for people. And I have a lot of fun doing it. I have a lot of fun streaming. I love doing what I do. And you can help me out just by, you know, hanging out and watching my streams. Subscriptions and donations are extremely helpful, and I really, really appreciate it. But you really, like, a monetary investment is by no means required to enjoy my stuff. And I definitely understand that, like, a lot of people physically can't provide that financial support, and like there is no shame in that. I genuinely, I just wish you the best, and you know, you can absolutely just enjoy my stuff without feeling any guilt about not being able to support me in that way. But if you can support me in that way, I really highly appreciate it. Because again, like my dream, my goal is to be able to do this stuff full time, to be able to put in a more consistent effort and be able to do more stuff. And if I can do that, that would be absolutely incredible. And yeah, if you would be so generous as to support me, or just, you know, want to hang out, have a new streamer to watch, just have a chill things to do weekday nights, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/HellPrincessJupiter. And it would mean a lot. Thank you.
Give Jupiter your money.
Do it.
Only if you can reasonably afford it and have donated to other more important things.
You're an important thing.
I'm not a thing.
That's right. You're a person. You're an individual.
I'm sorry, right? Thank you so much, you two. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for listening to Deck of Friendship. If you want to support the show, the best way to do that is to just share it with a friend, share it with somebody that you know, talk about it in your online community, spread the word out. We don't advertise the show in any way, and word of mouth really is the best way to get our show out there, and it would really mean a lot if you did that. You can also write us a review on iTunes. A 5-star review would be much appreciated. If you do, we will read it out on the show. You can find us on Twitter at Friendship Deck. You can email us at deckofriendshippod@gmail.com. And yeah, I think that it is time to log out.
Haba!
Beep, 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 beep.